A lot to get through. Let's begin with the news that sports fans have been waiting for long enough. With the end of lockdown here in England today, supporters are allowed back into stadiums as of tonight, albeit in limited numbers. Tonight, 6 clubs in the EFL will open their doors to spectators for the first time since way back in March. Seems like an eternity. Charlton are one of them because London, of course, is in Tier 2. My colleague Jeremy Langdon is there for us now. Jeremy, good evening to you. I take it there's great excitement around where you are.
There is, Jim, a big buzz around Charlton. This isn't actually the first time they've had fans in since lockdown, because back in September they had 1,000 for a game with Doncaster. But if we walk along the concourse here where the fans are going to be coming tonight, there's going to be 2,000 of them. They're going to be on this concourse where they're going to be temperature checked. They can actually bring food in with them tonight, but when they get to this part of the ground, their temperatures are going to be checked. They're going to have their tickets, which they've applied for through a ballot. Remember, 2,000. Charlton have 4,800 season ticket holders, and those lucky 2,000, when they get to the ground, they're also going to be asked again, have you got any symptoms at all of COVID-19? Because they're going to be seeing this when they get to the ground. They're going to be able to go into the ground, but strictly with a metre distance between each other, as you can see. So Charlton wants social distancing, but once they get inside the ground, Charlton are doing them a little bit of a favour, as they've been telling us earlier on.
We'll have 3 stands open tonight. We could probably fit the fans, the 2,000 tonight, into the West Stand. But we've opened 3 stands so that we can encourage that social distancing, and that's all to make the stadium and the experience for the fans as safe as possible.
And out on the concourse here, they're going to be temperature checked, aren't they? They can bring in food, but they can't buy any food inside. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, no food and beverage inside that they can purchase, and that's so to stop kind of queue development around the food units. However, tonight we will be providing free hot chocolate to our fans, and that's been sponsored by one of our good partners, Andrews, and that will really help with the fans. It's going to be a cold night, and we want to encourage fans to stay in their seats. So I'm conscious of that. They're having a hot drink.
So free hot chocolate, Jim, for those Charlton fans coming back to the Valley. 2,000 of them. There were 1,000 in September, and there is a big buzz around here for the return of the fans to the Valley to see Charlton against MK Dons tonight.
Jeremy, for the moment, thank you very much indeed. And as I understand it, the Charlton owner based in America, Thomas Sandgaard, will speak to those fans via the big screen tonight. So we've heard about the measures in place that Charlton have organised to make sure fans remain safe tonight. That, of course, is a priority. But what is expected of these supporters? Well, the EFL released a code of conduct yesterday, which included clarified issues such as chanting, celebrating goals, and the consumption of food and drink. They say all fans must wear a face covering when entering and exiting the stadium, but they can take them off during the game and when consuming food and drink. Fans should remain in their seats or standing location for the full game, if that indeed is possible. Singing and chanting is permitted, but when celebrating, supporters should maintain safe distances from other fans who are not in your social bubble. Let's hope they remember to do that. Spectators have also been advised to refrain from touching the match ball if it's kicked out of play. Don't touch the ball. And fans have been told not to approach any of the club's visiting or club's players or coaching staff, as players and staff will not be able to sign autographs or pose for photographs. They don't normally do that during the game anyway, do they?
Happy return for Charlton fans. They lost 1-0 to MK Dons. Out of the 6 games, there were 2 wins for the home sides, 1 draw and 3 away wins in all.
To be back at the Valley, but shame about the result really, do you know what I mean? But yeah, we come again next week.
What about the whole experience, wearing a mask and being socially distanced? How did you find that?
Well, it's just good to be back at football really, do you know what I mean? It's like whatever you've got to do to be back.
It's good. It's good to be back. It was not quite the same. Not quite. Yeah.
No, a bit
quiet.
Yeah.
Strange being able to hear the players and hear the bench.
You can't experience much of like what it's been like at the. Yeah, it's not the same.
It's a full stadium. It's not the same atmosphere.
Slightly surreal, but it was great to be back. Really great to be back after a long, long time.
Was the experience different, wearing the mask and sitting down and socially distancing?
Totally different, because of course you haven't got people around you. You can't have the same sort of banter that you would normally have. You can't really shout through a mask in the same way.
The officials and all this before the game's brilliant, yeah. It's good, very good. But we didn't play good.
But you didn't mind sitting down, wearing a mask, socially distancing?
No problem. No. I thought the organisation was very good.
Yeah.
What about the atmosphere, though, for fans having to watch the game in a different kind of way?
It didn't make any difference to me.
No problems whatsoever. The mask's a bit heavy going because I can't see. But that's the only thing, having to wear the mask, but it's what you've got to do.
Evening sees the return of football fans to stadiums in England. The end of lockdown means up to 2,000 people can now attend games in parts of the country in Tier 2. One of the first matches tonight's League One tie between Charlton and MK Dons. And our sports editor Steve Scott is at the Valley. Steve, a night I suppose they've all been waiting for a while.
Yes, for 266 days to be precise, Mary, but it won't be an experience they're used to. They've all been asked to follow a code of conduct tonight. That means there have been staggered arrival times. The first fans got here inside the stadium before about 6 o'clock, 2 hours before kickoff. When they arrived at the stadium, they had to follow a one-way system to their seats. They're socially isolated seats, and they've all been asked to wear face coverings or masks throughout the game. At the end of the game, well, they'll literally leave this stadium one by one, row by row, block by block. But for all the fans we spoke to this afternoon, they say whatever the disruption, it is going to be worthwhile.
At least we can wave to each other, you know, and have social distance chats, you know, of sorts. But it isn't going to be the same until we can get back properly to football. But it's just to be there and cheer the boys on.
I couldn't get my seat. They said it was full up, but today they said there was room in that stand. But I don't care where I sit. I'll sit on the roof. I don't care, you know. I just love them so much, you know.
Now, it's no secret that football clubs across the country have lost tens of millions of pounds since March. In fact, Charlton here tonight are losing money just by inviting 2,000 fans in. But they say that is not the point. This is very symbolic. They want to get fans through. They want it to be safe. And if it is safe here and it works well elsewhere in the country, then they puts them in a stronger position to ask for a boost in numbers going forward.
OK, Steve Scott.